If you thought all of Diddy's legal woes were over, then I've got news for you. Diddy's being sued again. And no, it's not Cassie this time. She already took that hush money and headed for the hills with it. But this time it's a man, and he's spilling tea on all sorts of celebrities, not just Diddy. Who's filing the lawsuit this time? What is Diddy being accused of? And who's listed in the court documents? Well, today I've got so much info for you that you better go get a snack and settle in, cause it's a lot. Let's jump in. Okay, so the man who filed the lawsuit is Rodney Jones, who's a producer, aka Hitman Little Rod. And among other things, he's filing the suit against Diddy for inappropriately touching him, which we're not even surprised about at this point, as well as drugging and threatening him. But he's not just suing Diddy, he's also suing Christina Parham, who is Diddy's chief of staff, Justin Combs, who is Diddy's son, Sir Lucian Grange, who is the CEO of Universal Music Group, and the former CEO of Motown Records, Ethiopia Habtemariam. Now, the reason he's going after these big-time executives is because he feels like they've turned a blind eye to Diddy's misdeeds and created an environment where it was okay for him to do whatever he wanted. And while Rodney was producing his album, Diddy was allegedly up to his usual antics. For context, it was Rodney who produced the Love album, which is his latest one. He lived with Diddy and traveled with him for more than a year to produce it. So here he was going above and beyond to get his job done, and he says that Diddy was trying to make moves on him repeatedly and went as far as to touch him inappropriately. He also says he had to work in the bathroom while Diddy was showering, obviously with no clothes on, which would be uncomfortable for anyone, honestly. But when he brought these concerns to Christina, Diddy's chief of staff, and told her he was uncomfortable, she allegedly just laughed it off like it was no big deal and told him it was just Diddy's way of showing him that he liked him. At that point, Rodney was already creeped out, but it actually escalated from there according to him. He says he was forced into setting up Diddy's freak-offs, hiring escorts and whatnot, and he says he's not the only one who had to do it. He says that producer Stevie J did it too, and that Justin Combs, Diddy's own son, was bringing young escorts to Diddy. And Rodney says he has tons of receipts in the form of videos to back this all up, like this picture that features Diddy with a girl who is allegedly underage. Rodney says that Diddy served these minors vodka and tequila that had been drugged. He alleges that Diddy frequently had fancy house and yacht parties where underage girls would come, and that he'd seen with his own eyes an R&B singer and rapper messing with these girls. Rapper redacted on Mr. Combs' yacht, consorting with underage girls, sex workers, and R&B singer redacted in Mr. Combs' Los Angeles home, consorting with underage girls and sex workers. This writer spoke with several employees of the yacht rented by Mr. Combs in the US Virgin Islands, who personally witnessed defendant Coram instruct her staff to spike bottles of champagne with ecstasy. Coram in that instance is Diddy's chief of staff, Christina Parham. But right after that, we get a hint at who the rapper and R&B singer are. He is a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj. He is a Grammy Award-winning R&B singer who had trouble with law enforcement after assaulting a Bajan billionaire. Allow me to connect the dots for you about the Bajan billionaire. Did you know that someone from Barbados is called Bajan? Which powerhouse entrepreneur and pop R&B icon do we know from Barbados? That's right, it's Riri. And everyone knows about her and Chris Brown, which is who this seems to be referring to. Check this stream out where Academics realizes it's Meek Mill.
Intoxicated. Yo, chat, I did not say it was Meek. Y'all niggas is tweaking. Somebody said scroll back, it said Meek name. It did not say Meek Mill's name.
Then it clicks that the other person mentioned is allegedly Usher.
Philly rapper who, nigga, this is like Jeopardy. He's a Philly rapper who dated Nicki Minaj. Beep.
Now Rodney even says he thinks that Diddy drugged him. In an incident last year, he says he woke up to find he was naked, dizzy, disoriented, and in Diddy's bed along with 2 escorts. Rodney says he thinks Diddy was attempting to groom him and manipulate him into a sexual relationship. It even went as far as Diddy allegedly making Rodney watch an intimate video of Stevie J with another man. It came to light that the person in the video was the adult film star, Knockout, and not Stevie J, but Diddy allegedly told Rodney that it was Stevie, and that's all he had to go on, so that's what he reported. And that discredits him a bit to some people because he didn't know who was in the video. To me though, if you're not gay and you don't want to watch the video, you're not going to sit there and focus on who's in the video and what they're doing. And you're not likely to know about gay adult film stars if you don't regularly consume that sort of content yourself. So I'm gonna give him a pass because I wouldn't have known who it was in the video either. And either way, somebody you're working with shouldn't be forcing you to watch adult videos like that. And I think that's the point. Rodney also says that Young Miami got her female cousin to come and perform sex acts on him. According to him, Young Miami, her cousin, and Diddy were doing Pepsi. Can't say the other thing, so just go with it. And they tried to get him to do it too, but he rejected that offer and went to the bathroom. When the cousin came in and tried to do stuff to him, he shut her down and pushed her off of him though. This sort of implication isn't a good look for Miami. There are a lot of people who have said that she's basically Diddy's version of Ghislaine Maxwell, who, if you don't know, brought girls in for Jeffrey Epstein and all of his high-power friends. And people think that Miami has been bringing girls to Diddy the same way. And let's not forget when she sent this to Diddy's other girlfriend. If I wanted you to eat my pussy, Diddy would have had you on your knees, ho. You a eater. I mean, that's confirmation that Diddy makes people perform sex acts against their will. And it's also some kind of really messed up brag at the same time. So that brag doesn't just make Diddy look bad, it looks bad on Miami too. Rodney also talked about the fact that Diddy allegedly bragged to him about having shot people and showed his gun collection off to him. And according to Rodney, Diddy bragged to him about being the cause of the 1999 nightclub shooting. He says that Diddy told him that Shine took the fall for him, which resulted in Shine doing almost a decade in prison. Rodney says he was on edge when Diddy was showing off his guns. Not only did he know that Diddy was a powerful man, he also felt he was dangerous. He says that there was an argument between Diddy and Justin one day, and one of Justin's friends, G, and that G wound up getting shot as a result. Okay, if that's true, then it makes sense why Justin's mom is out here calling Diddy out and saying he's a bad influence on their son, because that definitely doesn't sound like a good influence. Misa Hilton said, "The statement 'a fish rots from the head down' means that in addition to being a major contributing factor in a family or organization's success, leadership is also the root cause of its failure and demise." And in case that wasn't enough, she also said, "Everyone has to sit around for years and act like there isn't anything wrong with you. This is where the buck stops for me. I should have kept my child with me. Fuck UCLA too. Everybody can get it." So she puts that blame right on Diddy, and maybe rightfully so. Justin is getting DUIs and getting drunk, and now he's allegedly taking part in his dad's trafficking business, and shootouts and all this craziness. Rodney also alleges that Diddy made the introduction between himself and Cuba Gooding Jr. At one of Diddy's yacht parties, Rodney says Cuba started feeling him up and touching him inappropriately. Along with all of the allegations made in his lawsuit, Rodney is asking for $30 million. That's an interesting number because that's what Diddy paid Cassie. But it's pretty likely that Diddy isn't gonna make a quick settlement with Rodney like he did with Cassie. His legal team has pretty much said so. His lawyer said, "We have overwhelming, indisputable proof that his claims are complete lies. Our attempts to share this proof with Mr. Jones' attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, have been ignored, as Mr. Blackburn refuses to return our calls. We will address these outlandish allegations in court and take all appropriate action against those who make them." It sounds like Diddy and his legal team are gearing up for a legal battle. And given how often these things go his way because of his power, money, and influence, I personally wouldn't be surprised if Diddy won. The real legal issue here is that even if Rodney's stories are true, he has to be able to prove them. He's probably got videos of some of the things, but he likely doesn't have footage to back up everything he's claiming. And it leaves himself open to other lawsuits himself if he can't show proof about the other people he's named in the lawsuit, like Cuba Gooding Jr. What more, it's not just Diddy involved in this lawsuit. The CEO of Universal Music Group and the former CEO of Motown Records are also implicated. And you just know they've got some power and money to swing around. But another thing that could affect the case is that Rodney started having problems with Diddy because Diddy tried to take royalties and publishing rights away from him. That means that Diddy was trying to keep Rodney from the money he made fair and square for working with him and producing the album. We all know that Diddy has a past with not paying people, but it seems like Rodney really has beef with Diddy for not paying him, which can call his true intentions in question for this lawsuit because he didn't say anything at all about this stuff until he had money problems with Diddy.
Been working on an album. I took a year off straight working on this album. That album is the Love album, Off the Grid by Diddy. And it's Grammy nominated right now as we speak. I should be celebrating, but the truth is I'm not. Taking this album on has required so much time, months and at a time, 16 hours to 24 hours a day. Sometimes, Diddy will request certain works to be done and tell us don't go to sleep until it's done. And the truth is we'll be up for days trying to accomplish that. I've tried.
Talk about tough hours.
To get my business straight with them on this album, but the truth is they're not playing fair. They hit me on below the belt on so many situations, just dealing with this. It's the contract that they give me and the offer that they gave me was just disgusting. The producer fee, pennies, and on top of that, these guys are trying to steal my publishing. I can't go for that, so I'm fighting back. He's a fighter, but I'm gonna put in this fight. I got to do it for myself, my rights, and most importantly, my kids. Taking my publishing or stealing it I'm not going to let that happen.
He says the legal fight with Diddy and his team is hard, but he's prepared to see it through.
Doing this situation is not easy. Taking Puff to court, suing him is not easy. I don't have the monies that it's going to take to fight him in court. So I'm just asking, if you're in support, please. The link is in my bio to my GoFundMe. The money will go towards my attorney fees and to just make sure I'm keeping my head up.
And check out this video that Rodney leaked where Diddy and his crew joke about screwing him over.
Posted this video of Diddy and his associates joking about taking his publishing. Listen to this. This is messed up.
What the heck? Cause I run shit here, nigga. I run shit.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Little Rod ain't worth giving his kingdom to if we don't control his publishing. I can solve his efforts with 3 other human beings. He's eating at our table, and I like his backstory, but you need to have other people. It's hard to work with him unless we have his pub. He's a piece of shit human, but we do not need his talent unless we...
Stevie J came in with this rant. You didn't produce 9 songs in the project. Adding a piano on a song doesn't make you the producer. Adding bass on a song definitely doesn't make you a producer. Tell the whole story on how you came in as an engineer, don't get selective amnesia, and don't try to make the homie look like he's stealing from you, because clearly, I know that ain't the case. And Rodney fired back with, yo, how dare you? My number ain't changed. Speak of that, your name is next to mine as a producer on Deliver Me, and no one else touched that track but me and Jay Dilla. I've never been known as an engineer in this game as long as I've worked. In fact, Mixed by Source is an actual engineer that worked on this album and hasn't been credited as one. I'm confused because if I'm an engineer, why am I credited as a producer? And this video clearly speaks to them plotting on my pub. But what I'm most certain of is that you're possibly working with them against me. I don't give 0 Fs about no danger zone. Them threats ain't never worked. #love. Obviously, it's messed up for people to try and downplay Rodney's work on the album and not pay him, so I'm glad he's firing back. And if the rest of what he's saying about working with Diddy is true, then I'm glad he's speaking up about that too. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments below, and if you like the video, then don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you aren't already, so you don't miss any updates about this story or any of the other great ones we're covering. And as always, I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!